You're here at the Timezone Podcast.
Hey ladies, welcome back.
Hi.
How you guys look very chirpy today. How are you ladies doing? What's your week saying? What's your weekend doing saying, lady?
I mean, I'm good. I tried to watch that series that you told me about, Ink.
I May Destroy You.
Yeah, so I tried to watch that.
So good, right?
I don't know. I mean,
What?
I don't know if I'm liking it. But sorry. I don't know if I'm liking it.
Eunice, you watched it, right?
I watched it. I like it. I think it took me a while to figure out what the hell was going on, but I really like it, especially when I started realizing, like, episode 2, I was just like, oh, and she started crying. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, when she realized that, the guy on top of her.
I enjoyed it.
I haven't watched all of it, so I can't say. I've only got up to episode 2. So
okay.
Well, that's yeah.
What about you, Eunice? What have you been up to?
My weekend has been, let's just say I'm blessed. It's been good. I'm alive. We had a little date night, so that was really exciting. We needed that. Yeah, but I think after this, we're just gonna go for grocery shopping. So it's been good. It's good. I like it.
Okay.
How about you? What did you do?
Girl, finally, I can actually stand up and I'm not in pain. So I went out on Friday with Shanice. We had a session and I couldn't stand up and I couldn't sit down because I was, Rebecca hurt me.
She whooping that ass.
That's an exercise session, guys.
Exercise session. Yeah.
Okay, it was an exercise session, okay? And I couldn't move. I was stiff, like cardboard after it, okay?
But once you see those gains, girl. Once you see those gains.
I'm trying to get this booty on it. All right, Lily, so let's get into our first topic for What's Up With That. So this is the part of the show where you guys already know. We tell you the latest gossip, what everyone's kind of been sniggering about, what everyone's kind of been talking about, okay? So with that being said, have you guys seen what's been happening with this whole cereal wars? That's what I'm going to call it. This whole racist cereal wars. All right, cool. So let me fill you in. Okay, so an ex-parliament member by the name of Fiona Onasanya tweeted out at Kellogg's, saying to them, and I quote, "At Kellogg's UK, you have yet to reply to my email. Coco Pops and Rice Krispies have the same composition, except for the fact that Coco Pops are brown and chocolate flavoured. So I was wondering, why does Rice Krispies have 3 white boys representing the brand whilst Coco Pops has a monkey?" Okay. I just want to point out as well, before I get you lot's opinion, that Fiona Onasanya is black. So this is a black woman that's saying it, okay? Her whole argument is that Kellogg's is racist because it's the exact same cereal.
I would have never even gone that far. Honestly, until you're saying, it would never, and maybe that's because I didn't know there was a fucking difference. Ooh, I see her point as to the design and the representation. I see her point, but are we taking it too far? I don't know.
Shan, what do you think? Because you're a British girl. You've grown up with the Coco adverts.
I mean, I used to love Coco Pops, but I also remember like the Coco Pops advert, and it was set in a jungle with all these animals. So for me, I still don't think it's racist. I think she's reaching. It was kind of cheeky, like back then. Like most cereals by like Kellogg's, are with animals. Like and they're done to appeal to kids. They're not classified as adult cereals. So a lot of people see, like, a lot of kids see monkeys, like a cheeky monkey, or like, was it Tony the Tiger or whatever it is.
Yeah, like, exactly.
I feel like reaching.
Yeah, and the gnomes for Rice Krispies, it's their brand.
Some people are comparing it to, Aunt Jemima's pancake recipe. And Uncle Ben's, right? They're saying that the branding is racist.
Okay, so so if it was a black boy, would it have been different?
Do you understand? Would that be? Personally, I just think if they'd done it with a black boy, people would have still been upset because they would have said the features are too black, or the features aren't black enough. It's supposed to be a black boy. And I guess maybe, like Shani said, looking back at it, I never really saw it as racist. And plus, how can you compare it to Aunt Jemima's? Aunt Jemima, she clearly has there's clearly racism in the adverts. Like, she's an old man mammy, yeah? She's all like, oh, y'all come and get some food. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, she's all like, she's meant to be big breasted, like that whole stereotypical type of what
black women look like.
Of what black women look like, and how black women used to, like, you know, the house slaves, that's what they were, that were in there, like, used to look after the children, breastfeeding them, everything, you know, that was built on racism. Kellogg's, Rice Krispies, Coco Pops, I don't know.
I don't think the intent, I don't think the intent would have been anything towards racism. If that's the case, that means they would have just stayed with the monkey throughout their whole packaging. It wouldn't be no tiger. It wouldn't be nothing. It would just be a whole monkey on Frosted Flakes, on all of that shit, if that's the intent. But they use variety. So we need to stop. I know where the deep-rooted issue comes from, but we need to stop identifying ourselves as monkeys. Like, the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I was going to say. No, I just think, not even that. I don't think it's us that identifies ourselves as monkeys. It's them. And I think what pisses us off is that we do not identify ourselves as black monkeys. However, they do when they feel to. When you say to them, this is racist, they'll go, no, it's not. It's just a monkey. But they use it very quickly to insult us. So I think that's what the issue is. However, what I will say is that the reason why I personally did not find, because I went back and I looked at the adverts, because I was like, I want to be very sure before I open up my mouth, and say that this thing's not racist. If the monkey was belligerent, or carried on, had some type of traits, then I'd be like, yeah, that's racist. But to be fair, the monkey, in fact, all of the animals that were in the video, the advert at that time, they were all very well educated. They were quite posh. They were like, you know, they drank tea and they were all like, oh, rather than Coco Pops. You know what I mean? Like, they were quite snobbish. Do you know what I mean?
If the monkey had said, y'all can't get this cocoa, I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm like, okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love me some Coco Pops.
That was
like,
definitely,
Then I'd be like, oh, hell no.
I feel like we should be quick to say things like that, because it spoils it for us when something does happen and, you know, we're trying to say, look, this is racist. No one believes us because they're like, oh, weren't they carrying on with Coco Pops? Like,
every single thing that has an animal of, like, that is related or people have used to insult us, are we going to say everything is now racist? Like, I don't, like, calm down.
So I recently saw an article on Fatherly, and I'm going to read it for you. Okay. So it's called Hot Dad Alert, and it says, why women find fathers so sexually attractive. And they had, like, a list of stuff, like six reasons why they find them attractive. Well, there's one that kind of stood out to me. It said dads are normally seen as the forbidden fruit. So my question is, would you date a man that had children or kids, and why?
Do you know what? Like, I think we've said this before. Like, I think on the first episode, you know, that when we were younger, we used to say stuff like, you know, we're not going to date no man with a kid and da-da-da-da-da. And as you get older, you can't really afford to say those type of things anymore. I would definitely date someone who had a kid. I'm 25 though. Do you understand? I think, again, if you're a younger woman and you're 20, you can afford to be like, nah, I don't want to date anyone who's got kids. But I think once you get to a certain age, you can be like, okay, if he has one child, that's not too bad. Now, if he's got, like, a football team, I'm not involved.
I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. Like, you hit it around the head. I know I was definitely like, no, I want my kid to be his first child. I'm just like, girl, you're gonna be sitting for a while. But as long as he ain't got no crazy baby mamas, I'm okay with it. Now, if you try coming with some crazy, I can't do baby mamas. But I think men, just fathers in general, like, they're, you know, like, they're caring, you know, especially when they take care of their children. It's
Good
very
fathers.
attractive. It's very attractive.
Sexy.
Especially in a black man, too. Like,
sexy bitch! I think there's nothing better than a man who takes care of his responsibilities. Like,
absolutely.
Honestly, when you see, like, a good father, with their child, even if you're like, I don't even want to deal with men with children, you change your mind because you're just like, oh, okay, like, do you know what I mean? Like, okay, this is like what you're doing. And I've dated two different types of people who have had kids. One was like a brilliant guy, like, brilliant dad, brilliant everything. Like, in fact, it even made him more sexier to me personally, I felt. And then the other one, listen, this guy, still sleeping with his baby mum. I'll just put it like that.
I can't do that. See? Oh.
And then, can you imagine? Like, yeah, we're still sleeping with his baby mum, yeah, but yet we're still trying to pursue me. And I thank God, yeah, that we only had like 2 dates.
There was another point that this article said, and it said dads are no nonsense. So like we're attracted to them because they don't deal with nonsense, because they have kids. So they're generally they said that they're more responsible, they're more serious people because they have like so much of responsibility with having children.
Nah, she needs to write that article again. Nah, I agree with the first point, but nah, I've dated plenty of guys who took no nonsense and they ain't got no children. So no, I'm sorry. What are the statistics?
Let me tell you guys about another story. Yeah, as soon as she wants to lie, yeah, let me expose these niggas. Yeah, okay. Let me tell you about another story, right? So I was out one day, yeah. And I see this cutie and he approached me. So I'm like, okay, how you doing? Yeah. So we exchanged numbers, yeah. Anyway, went on one fucking date, yeah. Came back, my best friend, yeah, was like, yo, like, how was the date? So I'm like, oh, he's really cute. You know when you start to get like all gassed, like, oh yeah, he's really cute, like, we get along, when I show her the picture of the boy, yeah. Tell me why she knew the boy. She was like, oh my gosh, I know him, and he was denying his kids. And he tried to date me. So I'm just like, now, this is my best friend telling me this, yeah. So I'm like, nah, fuck this shit, yeah. We gonna handle this. Yeah. So I'm like, do you have kids? He was like, how do you know? No, he was like, what do you mean? Who told you that? And I was like, do you have kids? Yes or no? He was like, no, I don't have kids. This guy denied his kids, bro.
That's so
denied
wrong.
His kids. The kids
That's
look exactly like him. He's got twins, yeah. They look exactly like him, yeah, from everything. They look skin tone, everything, yeah. And this guy's going out denying his kids, yeah. Anyway, when I was like, look, my best friend told me, because she was like, tell him that I told you. I don't even give a fuck, tell him, yeah. So I told him, why do you start messaging her? And was like, yeah, when I see you, I'm going to do this. I'm going to fuck you up. Why are you opening your mouth and telling her that I've got kids? Yes.
So the person that wrote the article needs to
what? No nonsense. If that ain't nonsense, I don't know what.
I don't know what else is. That's some bullshit.
That's crazy.
That's some
He
bullshit.
threatened her.
First of all, children are a blessing either way, whether by mistake or on purpose. For you to go out there and deny the blessing that God has given you, you're not worthy to be a father. You're not worthy of anything. So I'm sorry, tell sis that wrote that list to cancel that one because she don't know what she's talking about.
Cancelled.
We are not cancelling people.
What is her name?
But you never gave your point, Shanice. Because you just look.
Yeah, you just told us.
Let me expose my business. But
what's the question again? No. Are they seen as the forbidden fruit? Yes, they are. I think they are. They are seen as a forbidden fruit. They're seen like you're not supposed to find them as like desirable. Then you do.
To me, that's not forbidden.
No,
I think that's your definition.
I would say married men are forbidden fruits.
No, but that's what the article said. It said like they're seen as forbidden fruit, which is why we find them attractive.
She needs to change that word.
I guess, yeah. I think it depends on what you think, what you categorize as forbidden fruit.
Yeah, no. When I see a man with the child, I'm not saying, yeah, so he has a baby. I want that. No. I'm like, oh, let me figure out what's going on with you first and your life if I step into it. I need to know if the child is fresh out the vagina, because if you're fresh out the vagina, I ain't talking to you because she just recently slept with your ex or whatever. So no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If the kid's like a year younger, I'm not involved.
No.
That's too soon. Yeah, it's way too soon. And obviously, it depends
if he's like 7, 8, I'm gonna be like, hey, we both got your zaddy. You know, he can be your daddy, he can be my zaddy.
Oh God. I mean, I personally don't think I want to be somebody with kids. Just because I don't think I want to be center of attention, but I just need. I find it hard to understand that this person is actually split. This is a split person, like.
So, guys, recently this person called @Josh Sweetener tweeted, "Can someone please explain why Marcus Histon, a 38-year-old geezer, is engaged to a 19-year-old girl who allegedly knew she was 18? They announced they were in a relationship 11 days after she turned 18 last October. And now comments on the PD files in stirs are limited. PD means pedo, which I think is taken too far. Of course, Marcus Houston clapped back and he was like, me and I didn't start dating until she was an adult. We fell in love and got engaged in March of 2019. My dad, Michael, loves her, and the people that I'm closest to love her as well. Most importantly, we have Jehovah's blessings. There's so much more to be concerned about in the world than creating rumors about me. And then he goes on and says more stuff. Now, my questions for you ladies is, does it really matter the age if it's of consent age? Like, does it really matter the age gap? Like, is it a man versus woman thing? Like, if a woman's dating an older man?
Jesus Christ.
Like,
I'm doing the maths in my head, so that's why I'm like,
because she's 19,
crazy,
he's
like.
38.
Yeah, because my thing is, she's 19, so if she had a child at 19 now, and wait till 38, like that would be, it's the same age gap. It would be sorry, it's just too much. Like I just, it's wrong. I feel like if she's a child, if he could have that child, then I think it's too young.
I'm going to interject you, yeah. And the reason why I say I'm going to interject you is because I think you're right, Shanice, to a certain extent. But I think as you get older, that gap can get bigger. I think she's a bit too young to be dating a 35-year-old. I think, so what's the age?
1938.
No, what's the age gap?
19.
The gap.
19 years is the gap. Yeah. If a 30-year-old is dating a 49-year-old, we're not gonna see it as bad. But I think because she's so young and she's only just starting life, that's why I would say that yes, that is wrong. He shouldn't have done that. However, people trying to call him a pedo, like in the UK, you can get married at age 16 and you can start having sex at age 16. Do you understand?
Whereas in America,
whereas in America, you guys are like what, 18?
Yeah, 18. 18 is like the age, yeah.
Well, like that's what I'm saying. Like each country is dependent to that country. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think my first question is, where are her parents? Like, you're 19 years old. Like, are they okay with you? Because he doesn't mention anything about her parents. Like, are they okay with her marrying this man? Like,
wait a minute. We need to let's not play games. We need to rewind. It's Marcus Houston. Okay, go home, Roger. Marcus Houston. He's huge. Okay, he was a 90s megastar. He was huge. Okay, of course her parents ain't gonna give a fuck if she's dating Marcus Houston. Let's just be real. She's like a regular person dating Marcus Houston. Why would they care? And he's got money. Let's be real. Let's be real.
I maybe it's just me. If I was a parent, I have concerns though. I don't care how famous you are. But
Yeah,
then
but
again,
that's
that's
you.
just me. That's just me.
Do you understand? That's like how
That's
I
just
would
me.
be. That's how like Shem would be. But that's us. But some of these people, bruv,
really don't care.
I don't even want to bring R. Kelly into this, yeah? I really don't.
Yo, I was just thinking that. I was about to say.
I don't think that we can compare Marcus Houston to R. Kelly. So let me just say that I'm not doing that. But what I will say is, you mean to tell me, that a lot of these people who were like who were touched by R. Kelly, their parents didn't know what was happening. Their parents fucking knew. Okay? But they let it slide because it was R. Kelly. And, that's why I say the Marcus Houston. Why didn't people have the same energy when Tiger was dating like Kylie Jenner? Like, literally no one, like, where was all that energy then? Like, I mean, I know a few people said it, but it kind of just got swept under the rug.
Spill facts. Spill facts. And for sure, like, we know they were fucking way before she even became legal.
Exactly.
So, big facts. Big facts. Leave the boy alone. Leave Marcus alone. Leave Roger alone. Roger, stay home.
With your girl, Roger.
Like, he be chasing after girls for a long time. Tia Tamara didn't want him. Let him enjoy.
No.
People don't want to make it. People do not let this boy chop life. He found a young spring chicken and they want to take it away.
Jealousy.
Too much.
welcome back to TimeZonePodcast.
This is the part of the show, you know what time it is, that we call That's Not It, or Leslie. All right, today, my subject matter, I haven't decided yet, but I wanted to bring this to you. My subject matter, okay, Terry Crews tweeted last week, defeating white supremacy without white people creates Black supremacy. Equality is the truth. Like it or not, we are all in this together. And this is in relation to the protesting with George Floyd, as we mentioned. And I guess a lot of people had a lot of feelings about that, and he needed to clarify. So he came back on the show with the talk, and he was like, what he meant was that as Black people, with the Black culture, we've decided on who's Black and who's not. And he feels like he's been discounted and people don't really see him as Black. And he just sees that Black people are pretty much creating a divide and we're all still in it together. And one of the talk show hosts asked him, does he regret making that statement about Black supremacy? And he said no.
What I said was defeating white supremacy without white people could create Black supremacy. And this is what I'm talking about. My thing is, in the Black race, in Black America, we have gatekeepers. We have people who have decided that who is going to be Black and who's not. And I, simply because I have a mixed race wife, have been discounted from the conversation a lot of times by very, very militant movements, the Black Power movement. I've been called all kinds of things like an Uncle Tom, simply because I'm successful, simply because I worked my way out of Flint, Michigan. And the problem is, and this is the thing, the problem with that is that Black people have different views. Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny because when you're white, you can be Republican, right, Libertarian, Democrat, you can be anything, but if you're Black, you have to be one thing. You have now put yourself above other Black people. And I'm trying to tell you, and then I got told it couldn't exist. And this is the deal. In 1994 in Rwanda, there was a genocide and it was all Black people. And there was one sector that viewed themselves as over the other. A million people died.
Yes.
And and you know, I was told it can't happen in America. And I'm here to tell you that's the first mistake. Anytime anybody says, oh, that could never happen here, that's exactly when it starts to happen.
Do you regret using the term Black supremacy?
You know, I can't really regret it.
Now, I personally feel the word Black supremacy is really big. Like, we know why we call white people white supremacists. Like, there's a whole list of things behind that. I don't agree with any of his statement. I see his vision, but I don't agree with it. So for me, that's not it. And she got some thoughts. She got some lines.
She does.
She got some thoughts. I can see her brain like just going.
The reason why some people feel like Terry Crews is a coon is because, he does not bat for his Black people from what we can see so far, you know. And this is not just the first time that Terry Crews has said something that has not been quite right. Gabrielle Union came forward and she said that, you know, American Talent is really racist and, you know, the atmosphere there, and it was just toxic work environment. As a man, forget whether he's Black or not, as a man, you have not experienced what she is saying that she has experienced. Shut your bloody mouth. Keep quiet, because you don't know. So, I wasn't going to laugh, but Shanice, I can see that she was holding it. I'm sorry.
Just to interject.
Because I was literally watching him, not yesterday, the day before. I was just looking at him. I was like,
shut up.
And just for everyone out there who don't know who Terry Crews is, that is Julius from Everybody Hates Chris. Now, everyone knows.
Yes, and he was also in White Chicks.
I think just for that statement alone, that's the reason why I'm like, nah, like, what is Black supremacy? Like, is it in the textbook? Like, show me where it is. Because that, you just made that shit up in your head. Like, I don't understand.
So I do wonder that. Yeah. Like, does he know what he's saying? Like, when he said, oh yeah, he doesn't regret it, I just wonder if he just didn't want to back down from his statement.
From his statement.
I feel like now that he's had time to think about what he said, I don't think that he would say that.
And one thing I found funny about the video with the talk that he was in, he mentioned that, oh, like, you know, Black people have decided who's Black and who's not Black. He brought up this whole apartheid that happened in South Africa, where there was a segregation between Black people, and his vision was that, oh, he thinks that's going to happen if we keep trying to take Black people out of like helping us defeat all this racial injustice and everything. I'm like, what are you talking about, sir? That happened a long time ago for different reason. I don't think it can happen now, but he is so sure that it will happen now if we keep trying to segregate everything.
Don't speak on. Shut your bloody mouth. Don't speak on things if you don't know it. Don't speak on things if you don't know it. I will say though, Black people do that. They do feel like they can decide who they feel is Black,
and
who they
who's
feel
not.
isn't. Black people do that, and we do need to stop doing that. However, it just really annoys me when someone makes a good point and then they try and use something that's stupid to help their point.
I think back to like your statement, like Black people do decide who's Black and who's not. That is very true. I also think they need to stop inviting random white people to our cookout. Like, just because they do one nice thing for a Black community doesn't make them for the Black community. Stop inviting random people
to the cookout. But sometimes it's not even a nice thing. Sometimes they're just doing what any person should be doing, like a normal thing, and you're like, oh
yeah. I think he definitely needs to support the Black community more, especially with when you were saying about him playing like certain roles. If he's going to play those roles, that's on him. But I feel like going away from them roles, you need to still support your community so we know that you're with us. Like,
exactly.
I don't feel like it seems like he's with us. He can't forget like who he is. And I feel like he might be not forgetting who he is, but obviously, as you said, he might feel more accepted over there. He might feel more wanted than compared to the Black in the Black community, which is a shame. So
are we saying that's lit or that's not lit? Because you all know where I stand. That's not lit.
That's not it. Yeah, that's not it. Welcome back to Sharing is Caring, where we give like our opinions and our thoughts. And today is a special day because we've got our first ever write-in. They actually titled it "Tired of My Broke Boyfriend." So I'm gonna read it for you guys.
Okay.
Bear with me because it's a bit long. Okay, so hi guys, you guys are great and I really love your podcast. Okay, I'll make it quick. Basically, my boyfriend is always broke and it's starting to get to me. We've been together for 2 years and throughout this time, he has had jobs on and off, but none that are stable and have a decent income. I've got a full-time job and he's a few years older and only working part-time, but never seems to have any money. As a result of this, he doesn't like going out, and if we do, we always go halves, or I pay for everything, which is starting to get annoying and embarrassing, to be honest. The money he does have goes to help his family who are struggling at the moment. His increasing weed habit, yes, he's one of those guys who's always broke, but always got weed. It gets worse. He's even started asking me to borrow money, which I don't mind as I'll do anything to help him, but I don't seem to get it back. I know it's usually to help his family and I feel bad complaining about it, but at what point should I decide this is too much? Do I leave him for being broke or stay and hope that things get better?
Rotted.
Let that sink in, guys.
Does it say how long they've been together?
Been together for 2 years.
So they've been 2-year relationship. Does it say how old any of them are?
No, it just says he's a few years older than me.
She's in a full-time job though, so I'm guessing she's probably roughly around our age.
Yeah.
Eunice, you're burning. I can see it, baby. You're burning. I can see it.
Okay, this is how it is for me. At first, I was like, okay, maybe we can work with something. But then the weed part, I'm like, honey, no. Like, if you have money to buy weed and money to supposedly take care of your family, I'm not going to assume you should have money to pay for our dinners. £30 dinners. Like, you have to have money to put into your relationship if you have that amount of money to buy weed. What I'm going to say is, honey, every time I try to leave, bye, leave. Like, I'm sorry, 2 years is too long. It's too long. I was with you with the whole, I have to pay for dinner sometimes, he's struggling thing, because I understand that, like, if I have enough and I love you, I will put into it because I know I've known you long enough that when you have that money, you're going to invest in me too. But when you hit me with that weed part.
No, but can I just say though, right, guys, someone has written in, right? So let's not add to the story. That's what you would do. We don't know
That's what
if
I
he's,
would do.
we don't know if he's doing that. Do you understand? You're assuming that that's what he's doing. That, okay, yeah, you don't mind paying because when he has money, he'll pay. We don't know if he's doing that because she's not actually said that. So I'm just going to go with what has been said and what has been laid out, the evidence that has been laid out to us. Then actually, I was like, okay, yeah, I think it might be time to be like, But when she said that he's helping his family, I was like, okay, that shows character. That is a good sign. Eunice's face is like, it's not happening. You never know where I'm going yet. But what I will say is, was he broke when you met him? Because I think that is a very important thing.
That part.
I think when you meet someone and if they don't have a lot of money or they're very struggling and they're at a certain age and you have done for yourself, which is what I think I said to you last week, that we need to do this whole whatever I bring, you need to be able to bring. That's what I think we should be doing. The fact that you are younger than him and you're in a full-time job and he's in a part-time job is a bit of a red flag. Why is he not trying to better himself?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm agreeing with both of you guys. I'm like, still looking back at it because I've got it in front of me. But I just wonder, why is he not able to keep a job? What's stopping him from being on and off a job part-time? That, for me, that's my concern. I feel like that is the problem. The fact that regardless of if he has to support his family, the problem is that he doesn't have a full-time job. Or if he does have a part-time job, why is he not able to maintain the job that he has? For me, that's my problem.
Also, if he does have a part-time job, is that to put money into an investment that he wants to do or start his own type of business? If he just has a part-time job and he's not doing anything with himself.
I mean, I'm a numbers person, and I think for me, part-time job, you work maybe roughly 32 hours, break that down. If you get paid $20 an hour or whatever, you put in half of that into your family. It just don't add up. I don't know. I don't know if that's truly the case, but that money is not adding up.
In the UK, in order for it to be part-time, if you work over 16 hours, that means you're full-time. So if you work under 16 hours a week, that means you're part-time.
1-6. Yeah.
That's why I say that it might be time to go.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. I just did the math in my head now. Being real honest with you. Yeah,
especially
being real with you.
The weed habit as well. That's obviously, that's a cash loss. You know what I'm saying?
If
he's not earning, if he's only working part-time, so he's not probably earning as much as he would like, but then to be having a weed habit, that's taken away from the money that he could have.
Nah.
Oh yeah, she also said as a result, he doesn't like to go out. So it's not like if she's going out, she's footing the expense.
Oh, so he knows he's broke.
Yeah.
Nah, girl, it's time to go. That means he knows it and he's not even trying to. No, it's time to go.
As a result of this, he doesn't like going out. And if we do, we always go halves or I will pay.
If a man doesn't like going out because he knows he's broke, I would do everything within my power to rectify the situation so I don't feel like I'm any less of a man. But the fact that you just don't want to go at all,
there's things I just feel like you don't have to have money in order for it to be nice. There are creative things you can do. If you don't have money and you're broke, you better learn how to be creative. You can't be broke and be fucking boring. You can't do both. Be broke, boring, and lazy.
And lazy. And then high. No.
Is he seeking full-time employment? There's things that he needs to be doing actively.
But I will say though, something that has kind of raised alarm bells to me. She did say that his weed habit is increasing. It might be worth speaking to him. I'm trying to figure out exactly what's happening to him in order for his weed habit to increase. People don't typically just increase substances
weed habit
for no reason.
It could be the stress from not having a full-time job.
Or it could be something bigger than that.
It could be something bigger than that. So what maybe is his mental health like?
Find out what his mental health is saying. Find out, is there something that's happening? And if you have done all of that, then it's time to go because he's just not motivated. Yeah. And maybe that will motivate him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Because the last thing you want to do is just break it off with him and then you find out later that he had deep, mad issues that you never even know. So.
But let's not encourage girls to stay with someone just because the person has mental issues. That's not what I'm saying.
No, that's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is just do your research. So
we're agreeing, guys, that we think. Actually, no, we're not agreeing, are we? Are we agreeing? Yeah, I said to leave him, but I thought Ink's going to say go.
No, I said I think you should leave him. However, I do think you should still speak to him and figure out what is happening in his life to increase the substance. You need to figure that out.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much the same thing. Like, figure out what's going on with him. I think you've done your work. You've carried the baggage for that long. If it's been 2 years consistently, like you said, it's time. Like, let it go. Let it go. If you love him like you say you do, let him go fix his life so that your love can grow better. You know?
Oh yeah, tell them. Makes sense.
Like, that's how I see it. Like,
true guy will step his shit up and fight for his girl back, innit? And if he doesn't do that, then sis, you know where it is.
you have your answer.
Yeah.
So the ladies at TimeZone are in agreement. Time to go.
All right. Well, thank you. Hopefully, our advice helps your situation.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. That was episode 4 of the TimeZone podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We tried our best to actually try and help someone today. Hopefully, we helped. Yeah, that's it. Really. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching as well.
And for all of you that love the write-in that we got today, we really encourage you to write in. It is completely anonymous. You can reach us at TimeZonePodcast2020@gmail.com. That is TimeZonePodcast2020@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.
And don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. That's TimeZone Podcast. Podcast is with a 0. And thanks for watching, guys. And, it's Father's Day, even though this will be out after.
Yes, so annoying, but it is Father's Day. Big up to my dad, yeah? Positive role model in my life.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, everyone.
Happy Father's Day.
Bye.
You're locked in to the TimeZone podcast.